What is the up, fellow nerds? It's Katie J, the Indigo, yet again with Nerd Girls Rock. And here we go with another episode. Are you ready? Okay, so you're probably wondering why I'm holding a freaking light bulb. I plan on doing something epic with this. Trying to make some merch, I guess. Um, so I'm going to be working on that while I'm talking to you guys today. So today I would like to talk about what is it about nerd girls that's so appealing? And then I would like to discuss with you guys, because I've been getting this question a lot, how do I attract a nerd girl? So, and I wish that I actually got the guy's name because somebody made a comment about how he actually enjoys hanging out with nerd girls and he loves them. And he actually had the great opportunity of dating nerd girls and kind of screwed up by, as he so kindly put it, thoughts and hood rats, um, which I found to be pretty hilarious. Um, but he said that, and then he was like, they went on to be successful, and I just, pretty much didn't know any better, and that's typically the case. But it happens. And I also got the question, like I said, how do I attract a nerd girl? Now, we have our picks just like any other females do. Um, and someone else asked me that question as well. How do I do that? And I told them that it's actually pretty simple. I said, some of us are actually rocket scientists, but it's not rocket science at all. You just find the nerd girl that you like and figure out what she likes. And then you appeal to her interests and you treat her right. And I think the one thing that a lot of guys miss about nerd girls is that nerd girls are not like other girls. Please do not handle a nerd girl like you handle like thoughts and like gold diggers out here. Please. Or like any other typical female, because I know a lot of females out here, that's what they're after is like a guy's bankroll. That's not what a nerd girl is about. You cannot buy her affection, so please don't try it. Um, you're not going to be able to like lie and manipulate your way through it because chances are she's highly intelligent and she's going to freaking catch you, so there's no point. Um, I would say like appeal to her interest and treat her right. And you have to make room for her. Like, you have to accept her quirkiness because I'm telling you now, there isn't a nerd girl on the planet who doesn't have a freaking quirk or like doesn't have some sort of weird habit. Like you have to be accepting of that. 9 times out of 10 it helps her think. So you just have to accept that part, whatever it is. Um and if you also have to make space for her mind to function. Like you have to make it, it can be super annoying sometimes because like okay, if you're married to a nerd girl or something like that, you live with one, you know what I'm talking about. Her workspace is 9 times out of 10 a total freaking wreck, but somehow she manages to work in that and find everything. Okay, so one, don't touch her workspace because she will freaking kill you. 9 times out of 10, it's an organized mess. And it's messy like that because it matches her thought process. Like, there's so many thoughts that run through a nerd girl's mind on a daily freaking basis. Like, somebody like that, it kind of has to be a little hectic because that's how it's like a reflection of like her brain. Like, there's so many different compartments. It looks messy, but I feel like it's mainly like just a lot there. And over half the time, things are just sitting there because she does not want to lose track of them. Okay, so you have to be like accepting of that. You have to be create space for her to be able to like conduct experiments and things like that because that's what she's going to do. Or if you have like an otaku, like you have to make room in your closet for her cosplay costumes. Like you just have to. Like if you're going to be with her, you're going to have to be receptive of these things. Like, you're going to have to give up some freaking closet space, okay? You're going to have to make room on your bookshelf for the manga collection, okay? If you don't have enough space for her manga collection, buy another bookshelf. Build another bookshelf. That's something that you could do that would, like, when you a date, like, off top, if you build a nerd girl a freaking bookshelf, dude, yeah, she'll date you. Like, yeah. Um, I would say just like find things that like you have to stimulate her mind more than anything in the world. Keep her mind constantly stimulated. Find out what she's interested in. Ask her questions. Be genuinely interested. Like, don't, and please don't want to be like, you do not want to be one of those guys that like, if you're one of those guys who feels stupid like when you're around a, or you have an insecurity about being around a female that's highly intelligent, just a nerd girl is not for you. Don't even try it. Like, yeah, she's cute, she's hot, whatever you like, you know, you like her little quirks or whatever, but one thing that I do know is that insecure gentlemen cannot date nerd girls. You just can't, because she may have her little insecurities, but she knows what she's capable of. So there are going to be times where she's going to be like, okay, let me take the reins on this one. And if you're one of those guys just like, it's cool, babe, I got it. Like, no, it's not going to work. She's going to get sick of you doing that. Like, and she's going to happily swipe left on your ass. So I would say don't, like, if you're one of those guys, don't even try a nerd girl. And so I've also been getting the question like, where do I find them? Nerd girls are everywhere. They come in all different shapes and sizes and colors, and you know, we come in all different flavors. But and there's all different types of nerd. Like, you have ones like me that are like your goth sort of like hippie sciencey types, and then you have your otakus, like I said, the ones that are like super into anime, like Japanese anime and Japanese lifestyle and things like that, and they dress up like the little lolitas, and or they do like the cosplay and everything all the time. You have those. You have the ones that are just like the broken glasses with the weight tape, and she's like a vegan and everything, like, and she just like loves animals, and she just hangs out like, and I would say your local Starbucks or whatever, like you can find those. Like, you have your indie, you know, nerds and all that kind of stuff. Like, you have your hippie nerds, you have your, you know, you just kind of figure out which one you're kind of dealing with, so that you can figure out, you know, how to appeal to her nature. You have your superhero nerds. I'm one of them. You have your gamer nerds. I'm also falling in that category. Like, you just have to figure out what she likes. And of course, you're going to find them in like your local Barnes and Nobles, college campus. I told the one guy, like, if you can't find them there, hang out at GameStop for a few hours. One is bound to like wander in there at some point. And try, if not, then try your local video game store. I mean, your local comic book shop. Like, that's where you would find them more than likely. I mean, you also have your music nerds, one that can tell you like every song possible. Like, they're super into music and things like that. Like, you have to find out what she's into and appeal to that, and think about like, okay, if, and don't like don't try to force yourself to be into anything. I would say find one that suits you, that complements you. If you know that you're not interested in anything that she's interested in, please don't try it. If you know that the two of you don't got shit in common, like, don't do it. Just don't. Like, don't try it. Do not try that at home, okay? Um Definitely. But if you find one that's like, okay, I like this kind of stuff too, and you're not really sure how to approach her, I'm telling you now, nerd girls love guys that are relatable. I mean, people ask me all the time, like, hey, what's your type? Okay, so Me being who I am, I kind of like, I'm weird. I like the guys that's kind of like got a little bit of a mean streak. Like, not that they're mean to me, but like, I like the quiet kind of types, the antisocial guys, because like a lot of people think that they're really mean, but they're actually really sweet, and that's why I don't talk to a lot of people. Um, I like the kinds that are like some of them like I like guys that are relatable. You know, most nerd girls like guys that are relatable. Like if she can relate to you, you got that in the bag, bro. Like if you have little quirks too and you're not afraid to show that, you got that in the bag. Like we like people that are unafraid to like be themselves because we're out here being ourselves. We're out here being weird and being different and having these quirks and having these flaws and being receptive of ourselves. And so we like people that can do the same thing. Or like if you're not into something that she's into but you're willing to learn, that's cool too because that shows that you're making an effort to make a connection. And as long as you're trying to make a connection, you're trying to be a good boyfriend or whatever, then that's what nerd girls care about. Like as long as you show that you care about her, that's what that is. We're not into the whole like, oh, girl, he got money. Okay, 9 times out of 10, if you're broke, she's broke too. And that's why you find her at Barnes and Nobles or in the comic book shop reading the books in there instead of buying them and walking the fuck out because she don't got no dimes. Like, she has no coin. Like, so, or like I said, some of us are rocket scientists, but I guarantee you won't find her spending money on the luxurious things in life. She probably has a reasonable sized home and drives a sensible car. Like, like, and she probably still shops at Walmart with coupons. Like, I mean, hey, we tend to be very, very modest people and tend to live very simple lifestyles. Like, you probably won't find her hanging out at your typical nightclubs. You just won't. Like, unless she's like a raver nerd, then you'll probably find her like at the raves and everything like that. I know there's one event that I attend every year because it's super awesome and I love like there's people there. There's like hundreds of thousands of people there that are just like me that I can relate to. And those are the kinds of events that you will find her at. Okay, like Comic Con, Otakon, things like that. Like you'll find like that is nothing but a high concentration of nerd girls. So if that's what you're looking for in your life, then and you're looking for like the wifey type, then you need to buy yourself a ticket. Go ahead and eat like just bite the bullet, okay? Like buy the ticket and go, okay? Go connect. I would just say that. Um and it's funny because we don't typically like I'm like I said I'm different. A lot of nerd girls are just different. Like I don't go for the typical pickup lines. The usual pickup lines for people are just lame to me. Like please don't send me a picture of your crotch, okay? I will block you. Like that's not cool. Okay, for most nerd girls, that's not cool. It's like I don't care if I do like you. It's if you send me a picture of your crotch and we have not had the chance to make a mental connection yet, it's gonna be like, oh my god, okay, block. Okay, I don't want to see that. That's not the first part of you that nerd girls want to see. They want to see your mind. They want to know what kind of person they're dealing with. And let us see that first. Like if we want to see your crotch, we'll eventually like hint towards that or or some kind of gesture or we'll let you know when it's time for that kind of talk. Okay? Like you can't just like push yourself on a nerd girl. Like it's never going to work in your favor. Okay? Like I can't stand that. Or the first thing out of a guy's mouth is like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty." Like I appreciate the compliments, but you know, for me, it's hard as a nerd girl because most of the time that's all people see is my face. And that's one of the reasons that I made this page is because you got to realize that there's a real person under there. Like no matter how beautiful a girl is, there's a real person under there. There's a heart with feelings and thoughts and dreams and ambitions and goals in life. Like if you're willing to talk to her and find the person under the face, like that's appealing because it shows that you genuinely care about her as a person, you know? But I wouldn't say like please don't ever approach a nerd girl like you have to get creative. Like I like dorky pickup lines. I'm not gonna lie. Like that stupid line that says like, "Hey, if you were a booger, I'd pick you." That crap makes me laugh. And if you can make me laugh, sure you can get my number. One time I had a guy on the bus, he's a skater, and he told me like, if you were a board, like you beat my favorite board. And I was like, epic. I was taken at the time, but I was like, you know what? If I was single, he could have had my number. Sounds dumb as shit to a lot of people. It was cute to me, okay? Like, so you just have to think of things like that, when you're trying to talk to a nerd girl. And I think that's what makes a lot of dudes nervous to talk to nerd girls is because I think most of you guys know that you can't approach them the same way. Or some guys like for the guys out there that get insulted when a nerd girl is like, because I mean, when you do the petty like basic stuff, like that's all you got. Like I know it sounds crummy, but it's like we want to see you. We want to see not put on a show for the guys, not just trying to get me in bed. No, I want to see you as a person. Let's connect as people. That's what most nerd girls want to do. They want to connect person to person, heart to heart, brain to brain, experience to experience. That's what they want to do. You can't just like all this other stuff like that, like honestly I don't understand. I don't. There are guys out there that'll pretend that they're interested. Please don't do that either. That's rude. Like that is so disrespectful and it pisses us off so bad because it's like then you want us to change everything that we're interested in, or like you want to date a nerd girl but then you get mad when she kicks your ass in a video game. She's a freaking nerd. Like, or you get pissed off when she beats you in a chess battle. She's a nerd, okay? And women are naturally, I know this is a little known fact, but women are naturally more strategic than men and they're super vicious. Like, so in a video, like you think you're good as a dude, imagine a woman that can match you. Like a woman that can match you, knowing that about the female mind, she's going to expect a slaughter. Like accept an ass whooping at some point. Like expect her to x-ray you, brutality you, and then fatality you in MK. Like expect that kind of damage, all right? Like expect like if you're a really mean chess player, like at some point expect her to have like freaking three kings on the board or something. Like expect it. Expect her to check you to the point where no matter where you move, dude, it's going to be check freaking mate. Like expect, and I think a lot of guys don't realize that about nerd girls is like we're just as interested as you are. We go just as hard as you do. So don't think like, oh, I mean, yeah, she's a nerd, but she's a girl. No. Be expecting her to be vicious at whatever she does because of that fact. Like I honestly want guys to stop going, oh, she's a girl. Yeah, she plays games, but she's a girl. They don't play games like we play games. Yeah, the frick we do. Yeah, we do. And we go hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I can't date like overly sensitive guys because I will curse you out in a video game. Like, I'm that competitive. Like, if you beat me, the first thing out of my mouth is going to be F you and the horse you rode in on. Like, give me back my damn controller. Like, I get I get upset. Like, rematch right now. Like, I'm very I get very upset. Like, or if you beat me in chess, I'll just like knock all the pieces off the board. Set it up again. You cheated. Like like you, it's over. Like, I will keep going. Like, or I'm a martial artist. To me, if you spar me and you beat me, I am going to dedicate my time after that into figuring out how to freaking beat you. Like, like that's just, I mean, we go just as hard. Like, we might even go even harder sometimes. So you just have to expect that level of competition from nerd girls. Like, I can't, for me, I can't date somebody like that because I don't want them to take it personally. Like, could you guys imagine that? We're playing a video game, I'm super competitive, I'm cursing you out the whole time, and then I'm just like, yeah, eat it, get some. And then it's like, you beat me. I just dropped the controller and I'm like, you know what? You give me my controller back. And I hand it back and I'm like, rematch right now. Like, I am totally joking. It's all a part of the game. It's just me talking shit. But like, can you imagine if if I dated somebody who took that personally? Like, that's just not gonna work. So, like, you can't be like that. Like, if especially if you're gonna deal with a nerd girl like me, and I'm one of those people as well who I just everything. I'm a very logical person. I'm very analytical. So it's like it has to make logical sense to me. If it doesn't, okay, I have a problem with that. I'm the kind of person who can separate logic from emotion. A lot of times I can make a perfectly logical decision without adding emotion into it, and I do it on purpose. I separate on purpose because I need it to be the right decision. Now, I've dated guys who've told me I am cold-hearted for that. I've been called a cold bitch like for that. But that's the nerd in me. And you can't, if you're dating a girl like that, she's not cold. I mean, if you think about it, it makes perfect sense because a lot of times our emotions cloud our judgment. If you're dating a woman, or if you have a friend like that, that is that masterful of her mind that she can separate logic from emotion, that's a good person to consult with because she's going to be completely unbiased. Her judgment is going to be unclouded, and she's going to tell you right from wrong. And it's just going to be that cut and dry. Like, she's going to give you nothing but facts. And I would say that that's the kind of person that you want to deal with. I mean, like, I am not the kind of person who sugarcoats things all the time because I feel like sugarcoating is doing the person a disservice. I have two children. I do not sugarcoat things for my kids. Simply be like, I put it to them in a way that they can understand, but I don't sugarcoat things for my kids. I feel like I'm doing them a disservice simply because life is not going to sugarcoat anything for them. Life's not going to sugarcoat anything for your friend. Life is not going to sugarcoat anything for my partner. Life is not going to sugarcoat shit. So I don't sugarcoat anything. I give it to you how life gives it to you. Hey, look, these are the facts. This is what you can do. This is what you shouldn't do. This is your choice, though. So weigh one against the other. Tell me how you feel. And I'm a loyal person. So, like, if my partner says something and I'm in total disagreement, I'll sit there and say, hey, this is the outcome that it's going to have. But, which, I disagree. I think you should totally pick the other decision. However, I'm going to stand with you anyway. And that's just it. It's just that cut and dry. Like, and sometimes you have that with the nerd girls. They can be very cut and dry. Some nerd girls have very clear cut boundaries. They're very, I will say that about nerd girls. No matter what type of nerd they are, they tend to be very strong willed. If she wants to have pink hair, you're not going to deter her from having pink hair. If she has a lot of guy friends, you're not going to deter her from having a lot of guy friends. Like, it's, you just have to learn how to kind of shuck and jive and like rock with her and understand her mind. I would say that's the biggest secret to dealing with nerd girls is understanding how her specific mind works. The one that you're interested in. Figuring out, especially if you want to have that partner for life, you have to figure out how her mind works. Figure out how to accommodate that. Figure out how to cope with that. I'm not saying accept everything that she does, but if you disagree with something that she does, figure out how to communicate on a level that you're not losing your partner. Because I will say this, I believe that everybody can talk. I believe in talking like a civilized human being. My vocabulary is too expansive for me to be yelling and screaming back and forth with somebody like a child. So I don't tend to do that. I hate doing that in my relationships. And if somebody constantly pushes me to that point where I'm abandoning my vocabulary and I'm just choosing malicious, like profane words to communicate with, okay, this is over. Done. Like, I can't, like, I hate that. I hate that. So I feel like, you can sit down and have a conversation with a person, like an adult, you know? So I would say be communicative. Definitely be communicative. Um, Even if you're not really a talker, like I said, figure out a way to communicate with her in a way that saves your relationship. Because one thing that nerd girls do not do, we do not do the crossing of the boundaries. We tend to have very strong boundaries. And we love people who respect our boundaries. You'll notice that all her friends tend to be very respectful of her boundaries. You'll notice that any partner that she's ever had, if the relationship ended, I guarantee you, if you ask, it will be because a boundary or several boundaries were crossed several times or, a multitude of times. So you have to make sure you respect her boundaries. Okay? But I would love to hear from you guys. All right. What makes a nerd girl so appealing? I mean, because I get a lot of messages and things like that saying that, oh, I love nerd girls. Why? What do you love about us? What is it that's so attractive about a nerd girl? Some say intellect. Some like, oh, they're sexy. What makes them sexy? What about their intellect is so appealing to you? Like, I'm super interested and I want to hear from you guys. I accept everybody, all colors, all sexual orientation, all walks of life. I want everyone to feel free to answer that question for me. And you don't have to do it in the messages. I'm looking for you guys' comments. I want everybody to join in and be a part of this movement because I'm super excited. Like, this is why we're here. This is why we do this. So, and then you can find other people who the nerd girl appeals to as well. Who knows? Maybe you might find yourself a nerd girl on Nerd Girls Rock. Who knows? So definitely continue. And also, I want to say to you guys, I am loving, thank you guys so much. You guys are epic, okay? You guys keep me going. You push me to do this all the time. So many likes, so many follows, so many shares. Thank you guys so much. You guys make all this happen, Captain. So, and we're super appreciative here, honestly. You guys are the rock stars, okay? You. You. Okay? You. So, heart to all you guys out there. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you so much for following. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for the messages. Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We absolutely adore you guys. We appreciate you guys. We got some merch coming out soon. I already have a few people in mind that I'm going to be sending packages to because you guys are freaking awesome and you guys were kind of the foundation for this, honestly. So, again, I want to hear from you guys. So continue to like, share, subscribe, follow, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. All right, thank you guys so much. Love you guys yet again. Nerd Girls Rock. Peace.